in studio, it's so great to see him, is Texas Senator Ted Cruz. Senator, I think they've run out of ideas, they've run out of strategies, and they're going back to the old playbook, smear and try to, I guess, just cancel people with whom they disagree.
Well, they're doubling down on the extreme. Their policy is crashing and burning. The American people see inflation galloping across the country. They're paying $6 and $7 a gallon for gas. They see the border complete and total chaos. We just passed another million illegal immigrants in this fiscal year, and we're in March right now. They see the disasters of Biden's policies assaulting our constitutional liberties, including a very liberal Supreme Court justice nominee who we can expect to undermine our free speech, undermine religious liberty, undermine the Second Amendment, and to be incredibly lenient on crime. All of the policies they have are a disaster. And amazingly, their foreign policy is even worse than their domestic and economic policy. And so right now, Democrats are panicking. I expect what you just played from Nancy Pelosi. It's going to get worse between now and election day.
Don't you sense that that's what's going on there? She signaled that in that soundbite on that, whatever that was, podcast. They're a threat to democracy. If something is a threat to democracy, you cannot accept it as a result.
They know they're going to lose. And Nancy Pelosi is not going to go quietly. She's going to scream. She's already preparing to scream the election was stolen. And by the way, what she means by stolen is people showed up to vote against Democrats. That's what stealing the election is. And remember, Democrats don't believe in democracy. You and I both clerked at the Supreme Court. We've seen what they want justices to do. They want 9 unelected lawyers to mandate every policy outcome in the country. On a question of life. In the next couple of months, the Supreme Court may well overturn Roe versus Wade, sending the question of abortion back to the states. The Democrats don't want the voters to have that right. They want to say, you have no right to make decisions like that. It's 5 lawyers in robes in Washington. They don't believe in democracy. And if you look, they know their ideas are unpopular. It's why they hide from what they believe. How many Democrats talk about gun control? How many Democrats talk about silencing free speech or taking away your religious liberty? They pretend they don't believe it, and then they try to ram that agenda through.
The numbers for Kamala Harris against Trump, if, let's say, they try to jettison Biden, these are all ifs here, where there are going to be a lot of people who probably run, are even worse.
Yeah.
What does that mean for the Democrats rolling into 2024? No one really thinks inflation is going to go away anytime soon. No one's serious, at least.
Well, and
where does this put them?
They keep spending more and more. I think it puts them in 1980. It puts them at the end of 4 years in Jimmy Carter. The disaster, we're seeing Jimmy Carter 2.0, hyperinflation, stagflation, disasters abroad, a weak president. I don't think Joe Biden will run in 24. I think even they know he's too old.
They know Kamala Harris is a disaster, and we're going to get into more of that later, but they know she's a complete disaster. Senator, where does that put the Democrat Party? What is their bench?
Well, I think you're going to see Kamala and Pete Buttigieg in a death battle, Mad Max at Thunderdome. You may see Elizabeth Warren jump in. You may see Hillary come back. And their ace in the hole they're counting on is Michelle Obama. That's who the Democrats are dreaming will come out of retirement. So I don't know who they'll go with, but it doesn't matter because their agenda's a failure. And they know Biden can't do it again.
Now, Biden's communications director made a rare appearance today, Senator, but of course the message remained the same. Watch.
Obviously, President Biden is very focused on ensuring that we minimize fluctuations as much as possible at the gas pump and prices in general for American families. He is doing everything he can to combat Putin's price hike here at home.
They still think this is a comms problem. This is not a communications problem. This is a policy problem. But they think by sending the comms director out, they can spin their way out of high gas prices and call it Putin's price hike. Texans buying that?
Nobody's buying that. People aren't stupid. You look at the White House in 15 months, their messages on inflation. They said it's not happening. Then they said it's transitory. Then they said it was a high-class problem. Then they said it was a sign of how great the economy was. Now, suddenly the American people are seeing the price of everything skyrocket. Their latest talking point, and they've got a lot of hope on this, is it's all Putin's fault. And so the American people aren't stupid. The price of gas had risen over 50% before Putin invaded Ukraine, before Biden's weakness invited that invasion. And so the White House, you heard her there just say, Putin's inflation, because they think the American people are foolish. One of the most powerful things is those little stickers that are appearing all over the country of a picture of Joe Biden pointing at the gas price saying, I did that. The American people get, you spend trillions in debt, it produces the inflation we got.
Do you think Romney's going to ultimately vote for Judge Jackson to confirm her?
I don't know. I am very worried about it. I can tell you. So it looks like all the Democrats likely are going to vote for her.
Because West Virginians want their Second Amendment rights totally turned upside down. And people from Montana, John Tester, and Arizona, Mark Kelly, they all want their Second Amendment rights gone. Religious liberty rights gone.
Her record on crime in particular is terrible. You look at her record. 10 different cases with people with child pornography.
But how do these Democrats go to their constituents, Senator, and say, I'm here for your vision of the Constitution, the constitutional rights that you need protected? How do they do it?
They ignore their constituents and they count on the corporate
kick them out of office
to lie for them. I got to tell you, the American people don't want, if Judge Jackson becomes Justice Jackson, she will be the most liberal of the 9 justices, and crime will get worse in the streets, and the Democrats will claim they didn't support that when she rules that way.
Sotomayor will look like Scalia. Senator, great to see you.